Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to the University of North Texas Applied Arts and Sciences Program webinar with our admissions team. We are so glad you're here today. Nathan, if you could go ahead and share that PowerPoint and we will we'll get started here. All right. All right, here we go. So before we start, a couple of housekeeping items. We are recording our session today. So I just had to make sure it is recording. So we will post this session on the degree page on Coursera for you to revisit as needed. Additionally, our other webinars, Nathan, if you want to go to the next slide, our other webinars in this series are currently posted on the degree page. If you missed them, we definitely encourage you to go back and watch. There's lots of great information in each of those webinars. At the end of today's session, we'll have a time for live questions. So if you have questions throughout our webinar today, go ahead and post those in the Q&A box. And we will get to those at the end. All right, let's get started. Nathan, can you go to the next slide? For our webinar today, I am joined by my colleagues, Nathan and Stephanie. Stephanie and I work together to coordinate this B.A.A.S program on Coursera, and Nathan works in UNT admissions. All right, Nathan, next slide. The Bachelor of Applied Arts and Sciences degree, or as we call it, the B.A.A.S degree, is a fully online completion degree with the University of North Texas. This program is designed for students to bring the credit they have earned from previous institutions or the U.S. military. The B.A.A.S is perfect for the non-traditional student who is working but wants to move forward in their career. Students in the B.A.A.S need minimum of 60 hours of credit. To share more about what that looks like, I'll hand it over to Stephanie.
Okay, I'll get off of mute here. Hello, everyone. So before you apply to the B.A.A.S fully online program, you have the option to work with a Coursera enrollment counselor. She basically will request unofficial transcripts from you. If you are a domestic U.S. student, it's just you can take a screenshot of transcripts that you have. They don't have to be official at all, so long as they have the class name, the number of credit hours earned, the grade you earned, and the school that it's from, we can then have the advisors take that, and then they will create an unofficial degree plan sheet for you. And that's basically what's unique about this program is we want you guys to feel comfortable knowing what it'll look like before you actually apply to the school and spend money. We want you to know what your degree will look like, how many credit hours you're going to have to take. So you can decide at that point if you want to apply or if you want to hold off, whatever is best for you. So that's why we use this option. A lot of traditional degree programs don't. And then for our international students who are sending unofficial transcripts, we cannot accept unofficial transcripts from third-party evaluators. So for you guys, they do have to be the original transcript screenshot. And then from here, we need the unofficial transcripts in English, and they need to show your class name, the credits, the hours, the grades, and the number of semesters that you have taken at that school. It helps us to determine the conversion rate of the credits from an international school to a US school. And then from there, again, once you have this unofficial degree plan, you can make a decision, and we'll still work with the enrollment counselor to then get you the application. And that's where Nathan will take over and kind of explain what that whole process looks like.
There you go. Now can you hear me? Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Stephanie. My name is Nathan, and I work here at University of North Texas in admissions. So this kind of will show our kind of a generalized approach to what we would need for admission to the university and to the program. So this degree requires a 2.0 GPA or higher on the 4.0 scale. You also need to be in previous standing. I'm sorry, wow. You need to be in good standing at your previous institution. So essentially, you're eligible to return. So in other words, just not be on suspension from any previous school that you would, if you chose to go back to any college or university that you attended, that you could. You do need a minimum of 60 credit hours. And if you're not for sure at how many hours you do have completed or anything, that's kind of what Stephanie was just talking about with the pre-admission advising. You could definitely send the Coursera advisor your unofficial transcripts, and they could come up with that total for you to let you know how many hours that you're at. So how it all gets started in applying to UNT is going to www.applytexas.org. From there, this is where you would create an account, and it all just starts where it says get started right there on the web page. That first part will ask biographical information, of course, like name, phone number, all that kind of stuff for you. And then next, you'll create a new application, and it will ask for what semester you're applying for, what university. It's really important that you'll need to select the University of North Texas, and then it will have parentheses and it will say Denton. Make sure to select that one. And after that, it will ask what college you would like to be a part of, and you're going to look for new college in the drop-down menu. It will ask for a second college choice. You don't have to put that in there. You can leave that blank or not even touch it, and you can go on to the next screen from there. Then it will ask which major you want within that college, and then you're going to look for exactly what's right here. It will say Applied Arts and Sciences, parentheses, B.A.A.S online, and that will be for this Coursera fully online program. The application fee will be charged there on applytexas.org, and you can pay with a credit or debit card. And for a domestic student, it will be a $75 application fee. For international students, it's an $85 application fee. There is available that was created by Coursera, a great video that walks you step by step how to apply as well. So if you have any questions or anything, this would be a great resource on to walk you through how to apply to UNT using the applytexas.org application and everything like that. The main thing that I say with the application is just stick to the required areas of it. Don't overthink it too much. That's why I tell students all the time. But just make sure you just get those required areas done. There are different spots in there that ask for example, at the very end, do you need every job you've ever had and every extracurricular activity? We don't. Those aren't required. You are more than welcome to fill it out, but it's not required. So once again, just stick to the required areas of that, and then that way you can get it into us. So after you hit submit on the Apply Texas application, what happens next? You will immediately receive a confirmation email from Apply Texas, and this will go to the email that you put on there. So whatever personal email address you did on there, it will send over to that for you. Within about 2 to 3 business days, you will receive an email from UNT Undergraduate Admissions. This email will explain how to activate your My UNT account. So it will say welcome to UNT. It will give you an ID number and what we call your EU ID, and that's how you log into our system. So this doesn't mean that you've been admitted yet. It just means that your application has been activated now. And once you log into that account, your My UNT will show you what items are missing to complete your application. So it will show any transcripts that we need to complete it, or if you've already sent them in and we already have them, you might be showing checklist complete. If you have any international transcripts or mark sheets that need to be evaluated, you can email them in to us and they'll be used to make an admissions decision, but they will be treated as unofficial. We need to have your official copies of those before you can enroll for classes. So if you just want to see how many credits are coming into the university, like the bulk of them, in admissions, we would not be able to tell you how they apply to the degree. That's where your advisor would come in. But this would at least show you the bulk, like you have 75 credits, you have 60 credits. We would be able to show you that as part of this evaluation, but the advisor will tell you how everything applies. And then of course, any domestic transcripts that need to be sent in, the preferred method is going to be electronically, just because that way there is a paper trail, doesn't get lost in the mail, anything like that. You can send those directly to, once again, just make sure it's the University of North Texas in Denton. We do have a system, what we call here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, that we do have another school that's University of North Texas, Dallas. That is not us. So don't send any documents, or make sure you fill out that application. That will not get to us, and we don't have any way to access their system. So make sure it's for any documents, or that your application is for University of North Texas, Denton. Part of that evaluation process for international students, or if, for example, if you're a domestic student that's on the quarter system, we will convert it to the 4.0 grading system, because that's what UNT uses. Also, if you're used to plus minus, A, B, A plus, B minus, things like that, UNT, we just use A, B, C, or D. So we will also convert that as well as part of the evaluation for you. Once you are checklist complete, so that means we received all the documents we received all your documents and your application's complete, then it will move forward for an admissions decision. And as long as you are at that minimum 60 hours that you need for this online program, and you're above a 2.0 and you're eligible to return back to any previous institution, then that meets our automatic admission requirements, and you would be admitted to the university at that time. You will still get a letter in the mail and an email as well, congratulating you and welcoming you to UNT. And then that's the next big step after that, is that the B.A.A.S advisor will contact you about your next steps for enrolling for classes and things like that. So yes, if you have any questions and answers and everything, I think Samantha will take it from here. But
Yep. Absolutely. So we've been getting plenty of questions in the Q&A box. If questions have come to mind as you've been listening, go ahead and pop them in that Q&A box, and we'll start answering them now. The first question was, is this degree only for those that can bring a minimum of 60 credits? And for this program, yes, it is only for those who can bring a minimum of 60 credits, because this is considered a transfer program or a completion degree. So we do want you to have credits that you bring with you. The next question, how much per credit hour? It is $330 per credit hour, plus then the application fee that Nathan shared earlier. So $75 for domestic students, $85 for international students, and then a $45 orientation fee, which you will pay with your first semester's tuition. Another question, do we have courses for hospitality and tourism or business? Yes, we do. We'll be launching 7 concentrations, 3 in the first year with the Google IT certificate, and then 3 more the year after that. The first year we'll be offering administration, consumer behavior, and organizational supervision. All of those fall under the traditional business umbrella. And then the second year we'll be offering social welfare and community, hospitality, and media innovation. Let me get back to my questions here. Do you have to submit transcripts for every college you attended? Stephanie, can you answer that one?
Yes. Okay, so submitting transcripts for every college attended. So you will have to do that. With the unofficial transcripts that you send us, it would be ideal if you could send all the schools you attended and earn credit from, because that'll give us a more accurate picture of what you can expect going into UNT. We don't need all of them, but again, you know, you could come in with more credit than we even thought if you give us all your transcripts for unofficial. Now, official, I'll let Nathan touch on that part of that process.
Yes, we would need, for the official side, for your application, once it's in admissions, yes, we do need to have all your official transcripts in before we would be able to move on. Part of the process here at UNT is we do run students through the National Clearinghouse database. What that does is that checks, it's a database that all the universities and colleges report to centrally to see where people have attended. So we are a part of that network. So for example, like if I apply, they'll run my name through that name and birth date, and it would be like, okay, we would add on that checklist, like if there's any missing transcripts. So yes, for your official application, yes, we do need all previous ones.
Great, thank you. The next question, Stephanie, do international transcripts need to be converted into local ones?
For me, for the unofficial transcripts, they just have to be in English, and then we do the conversion rate to figure out how many credits you would get from that school to a US school. So they don't actually need to be converted to, you know, US credit. And again, for the official transcripts, Nathan, I'm going to defer to you on that one.
Yes, part of your application fee is that we do our own in-house evaluations of your transcript. We do need, if it is in another language besides English, then we would need the original transcript or mark sheet in the original language that it came in, and a certified English translation. We would need both of those. But as far as like what would come into the university, evaluating the credits and converting it to a 4.0 GPA scale and everything, you would need to go to a separate company for that. That's part of your, that's part of our, of, I keep talking over myself. I'm so sorry. That's part of our application fee. So we would do that all in-house as far as that goes, as the evaluation for it. Did that answer the question?
Mhm.
Okay.
That was great. Is this degree the only one available for international students? UNT has many degrees available. You can visit for our online degrees, you can visit online.unt.edu. This is at this time the only degree that we have on Coursera. So if you're looking for a degree specifically through Coursera, this is the only UNT degree available there. Are SAT and ACT scores required?
No, they would not be required, because as long as you're above, as long as you're coming in with that minimum 60-hour requirement, UNT, we do not, anything above 30 college credit hours for any student, we do not require SAT or ACT test scores.
Okay. The next question is, do you offer pass-fail classes?
We do. We do offer pass-fail classes, but typically for undergrad students, you can only do one of those per semester. And then for senior students, it's a little bit different. So typically people don't, and it's not a super common thing. You also have to have certain GPA to do a pass, no pass class. So, I mean, I would say for this degree, you probably would not have pass, no pass classes.
Great, thanks. So the question here is, do you provide certificates to attend? We provide a diploma, a degree diploma. So if you graduate with your Bachelor of Applied Arts and Sciences, you will get a University of North Texas diploma. It will not say anything on the diploma about being an online student or a Coursera student. It will be a UNT diploma, just like all of our on-campus students receive. Also, if you're interested, you'll have the opportunity to attend the UNT graduation commencement as well. Let's see what else. Does work experience evaluation count towards a degree?
So we cannot directly apply, you know, the amount of years you have in a certain job to credit. We don't do that. However, if you have earned like a certificate in HR or something of that sort where you actually had to take class hours, what we do is we can send that to A.A.S or the American Council on Education, and they're the ones that will decide if that credit, that certificate kind of workforce credit, will be applied and accepted as university credit. But for your specific amount of years worked, unfortunately, that's not converted to credit.
Great. The next question is asking if a financial aid is available for this program. Yes, financial aid is available for this program for US students. All you have to do is file your FAFSA form, and then from there we will, you'll work with our financial aid department to determine your aid. Next, Stephanie, how far back will we accept credits?
Yeah, so we've had a few questions on this. We'll evaluate your credits and see if they count first, if we count them towards college credit. And if they are college level credit, we don't have a time limit on how old they are. We've had, with this B.A.A.S degree, we've had people in their 20s all the way through their 80s. So, with this degree, it is more of a completer degree, and it's offered for everyone who may started classes somewhere at some point in time and now just really wants to finish that degree. And this can help you get there. So it doesn't matter how old the credits are, and it doesn't matter how old you are, because you can do this.
Awesome. So someone posted, I have an associate's degree in radiology, and I have 89 credit hours. Would those be accepted?
So we would have to take a look and see and just make sure the school that you have those credits from is accredited. And we have had with this degree many people who have more of that, what we call vocational technical education, like radiology or EMS or something like that. And so we have accepted those credits in the past. We would just need to take a look at your transcripts and we'd be able to tell you that.
Great. The next question is about the classes. So the classes are 8 weeks in length. Each class is an 8-week session, and we're doing 2 sessions per long semester. So you may be used to the traditional fall semester, spring semester. We are doing fall 1 and fall 2, spring 1 and spring 2, and then we're also doing an 8-week session in the summer. Our admit times, so times that you can apply and begin your program, will only be fall 1 and spring 1. So that is in August and in January. The next question, I'm not sure, I'm going to ask it, but I'm not sure that we have this specific knowledge, but it says, I have a level 3 college diploma from the UK. Would that be accepted?
So we, again, any of those international transcripts, you can send them to us and we will take a look at them. And we use a couple different evaluation websites to help us kind of determine that. And we have a conversion ratio for the credit hours. So you would just have to send that to us. For anyone who's international, just send us your stuff. Trust me, it won't overwhelm us. We want to help you. So definitely, if you're interested and you're not quite sure if you're ready to apply, definitely send it to us, and we'll get you a planning sheet or let you know if we can or cannot accept those credits.
Great. Is this program only for people who are working full-time? What about people who work part-time?
Yeah, so I mean, if you work part-time, you can definitely do this program too. It's not just for people who are full-time. So with the structure of the classes, they're 8-week courses. So in the fall and spring semesters, and these are long semesters. So fall will run from August to the beginning of December. However, since these are 8-week classes, in the first half of that, so from about August to October, your first 8-week classes, you can take 2 classes within that 8 weeks. Then the second 8 weeks, which will run from October to about December, you can also take 2 classes. So throughout the full semester, you can take a total of 4 classes. And that will also depend on the offerings and what classes you need.
Great, thanks. So the next question was about if there's a sample of what the curriculum looks like, and is it an accredited degree? So yes, we are accredited. We are an accredited Research One university. And there is information on the curriculum on the Coursera webpage. So maybe Stephanie, would you want to put that in the chat, the degree webpage for Coursera? So if you are interested in looking into this degree more, there is lots and lots of information on that webpage. Visit. You can also speak to a Coursera enrollment counselor through that webpage. So that is an important place for you to get more information. The next question is about scholarships. So we this program is financial aid eligible, and we're also working on creating a couple of scholarships for the program. Details for that will be on the degree page as soon as we have that. So that is in process right now. It got a little bit slowed down by COVID, but we are working to get that figured out. The next question is, do I need to start my application before I get the degree plan?
No, so you can decide when you start the application. It's always important to remember when the application deadline is. For this program, it's July 1st. So just pay attention to that. And if you now, send your transcripts to us, we'll have it back to you quickly, this unofficial degree plan. So you'd have plenty of time to then do your application. Also too, though, keep in mind if you are a domestic student and want to apply for financial aid, federal financial aid, there are deadlines for that too. So you just want to pay attention to those. But other than that, it is your decision if you want to wait to apply, or you also can start the application now. You don't have to submit it. You can start it while we are giving you the unofficial degree plan. And then once you're saying, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm good to go, then you can submit it.
Great. So this question is about taking summer classes. So if you are interested in starting this program in the fall, but you're also interested in summer classes, that's a question for you to discuss with your advisor, who as soon as you start the process with the Coursera enrollment coach, you will be in contact with a UNT B.A.A.S advisor who can help you figure out what that will look like. Do we have entry requirements like IELTS or TOEFL? If you are a non-English speaker, we do require some sort of language test. So you could do IELTS, you could do TOEFL. We also recommend Duolingo, as Duolingo is far less expensive than TOEFL or IELTS. It is also one that you can take online, and it's a quick process. You can get your scores very quickly, and then you can also, if you need to, you can retake that more frequently than you can TOEFL or IELTS. Can you apply for the Hazelwood Act for Texas veterans? Yes, you can. Let's see. Just a reminder, there have been a lot of questions here about tuition. It is $330 a credit hour, and that is no matter where you are. So if you are in Texas, it's $330 a credit hour, and if you are an international student in your country, it is $330 a credit hour. This is actually a really excellent deal that we have been able to provide through Coursera for this degree. Normally we have in-state and out-of-state tuition, but because of the Coursera platform and the things that we're able to do with this degree, we are able to offer that $330 price per credit hour to everyone. So that's great news. So one of the questions, it's $330 per credit hour, but most courses are going to have 3 credit hours. So if you do that math, that's going to be about $990 per course. So keep that in mind as you're registering for your courses. It's not $330 per course, it's per credit hour. Let's see. Are all of the classes through Coursera? For this program, yes. All of our courses will be on the Coursera platform. So they're all fully online, and there will be more information about how those courses are formatted and what that actually looks like on the degree description page, so that you can see that.
Also, with that, I'll just add that all of the courses are taught by UNT professors. So this is a UNT degree. On your diploma, when you finish, it is going to say University of North Texas and the Bachelor of Applied Arts and Sciences. It is fully UNT, so you will get that diploma.
Yes. So if I went to 3 schools, does the GPA of 2.0 need to be cumulative or for each school?
Yeah, Nathan, I'll let you answer that one.
No problem. Yes, that it needs to, it's cumulative. So we don't look at each school individually, we put them all together. So it's also to courses that we don't get down to if it applies to the degree or not. It's just everything that's transferable into UNT. That's where we get your total credit hours, and then that's when we get your total GPA. And as long as it's above a 2.0 GPA, then that, and once again, eligible to go back to any school. So once again, just not on any kind of suspension, then that would meet our admission requirements.
Great. Are course materials extra? Yes, unfortunately. So some of the courses will require books. Some of them will require open text. So open texts are texts that are available online to anyone. That is up to the faculty. So I don't know at this point how many of our courses or which of our courses are going to require text, because faculty are still making their syllabi and getting things ready for them to teach. So that will be an additional cost if your faculty member requires a text. Additionally, some faculty members will require you to have your exams proctored. Not all faculty, but some will. And so that will be an additional fee so that you can actually take the test in your house using your webcam. We're working with a company called ProctorU that does exam proctoring via webcam. So that would be an additional cost. It's less than $10 per course or per exam. So that is not a large cost to you, but it is something to consider.
I would like to jump in and answer one of these questions. We have a question, what is a transcript, for someone who's London-based? So transcripts can be called a bunch of different things internationally. They can be called mark sheets, report cards, record of achievement, transcript of record, permanent record, academic record. So anything like that shows the credits that you've earned, the grades that you got from the university, will be something that's sort of like an unofficial or an official transcript. Okay, Sam, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Sorry, yes, sorry, I had a question and then I lost it. Do we accept CLEP credit?
We will accept CLEP credit, yes.
Great. An interesting question here. What can you do with this degree? Stephanie, can you help us answer that one?
Yeah, so with this degree, since it's kind of a completion degree, there are many jobs out there that require you to have a bachelor's degree. There are many people who unfortunately can't move up in their careers unless they have a bachelor's. Now this would satisfy that this is a bachelor's, and a lot of times the people who don't have the bachelor's yet, this will allow them more upward mobility in their career because they do tend to have the experience, the years of experience already under their belt, and it's really the degree that they're looking for. it's also to note, so the way that the degree is broken down, it's kind of interdisciplinary. So we try to maximize your credits. We try to take a look at them, use as many as we can accept. And we kind of create your degree based off of what you already have and then where you want to go. So like Sam had said, all the different concentrations that we offer, administration, organizational supervision, we have those, and you can take those, and basically those supplement all the experience that you have. So you could really honestly go into any career field. And it's also important to know, even if we don't offer a concentration that you think is specifically geared towards yourself, we have a lot of concentrations that are geared towards business. And in anything you're doing, a lot of the time, you're going to be working with people. You might be a supervisor. You might need to know how to supervise. And they're really tangible skills that honestly can be applied to any field. And so you can list the concentrations from your degree on a resume. And then you basically you can tell an employer, these are all of the skills I have, these are all of the skills I've learned, and this is how I can do this job because I have these skills. So again, really it can apply to anything, any career path you want to go into, and the advisors will work with you on that. Obviously we want to make sure that if you're looking to get a different job out of this, we also have the Career Center. We have tons of student services for you as well, help you along that journey.
Yeah, great. I definitely want to highlight, because you are a UNT student, you do have access to those student services. So our Career Center is great. They can help you write your resume. They can help you practice your interviewing skills. They can help you learn how to best market yourself with this degree. So those services are available to you as a UNT student on Coursera. We're just gonna do a couple more questions here. One of the questions is, could this make me eligible for a master's program? Yeah, absolutely. This is a great pathway. If you're interested in going forward with your education, you want an MBA, you want, any kind of master's degree, this is a great pathway for you to get the degree, the bachelor's degree that you need to be eligible then to continue on with the master's program. There have been some questions about how long this degree would take them to complete. Stephanie, can you answer that one?
Yeah, so honestly, it's going to depend person to person. So however many credits you're bringing in will really determine how long it's going to be. So a bachelor's degree is a minimum of 120 credit hours. From UNT, you do have to take at least 30 hours of UNT courses. So that would be 10 classes for sure from UNT. And then we do also have a requirement to take advanced courses, which would be considered junior, senior level. Now, if you have advanced courses from another university, we can accept 12 hours advanced from another school. But if you do not have any advanced hours, we do require you to have 36 advanced hours for this degree. So again, there are certain requirements. However, it also depends on the pace you want to go for the time it will take you. So if you only want to take one class at a time, it will take longer. But if you take the 4 classes during the full semester and the 2 8 weeks, it might be a little shorter. And the advisors will work with you on that. If you want to speed it up, you speed it up. If you want to slow down, you can slow down. It's totally up to you.
Great. And Stephanie used to be an advisor in the B.A.A.S program. So she is our resident expert in credits and transferring and how long things take, for sure. So Nathan, this one's for you. Does this transcript need to be sealed and mailed from the university, or if a student has a copy, is that sufficient?
I would say normally that's perfectly fine. Just with everything going on right now with COVID, like our the university is closed and is only here for essential personnel. So right now there's not a place to turn it into in person. I would say if you have it sealed, leave it sealed, and you can drop that into a bigger envelope and still mail it to us, because we do have essential personnel checking our mail and things like that. Um, but yeah, normally, yes, that would be fine to bring it into the admissions office and we could take it that way. But right now with everything with coronavirus and COVID, that's kind of changing. I would say electronically would still be the preferred method. But if you do have something sealed, you can always drop it into a bigger envelope or FedEx it to the university, and we can take it in that way. Just as a reminder too, with your official um, international documents, we do understand a lot of times that might be your only copy. Some systems, you only get one copy of your, mark sheets or transcript for life. Um, so on those, I would say for right now, you can scan and email those into us for that initial evaluation. We will treat them as unofficial for once you apply to make an admissions decision. Then we would need the official ones before you can enroll for classes. So we could kind of cross that bridge as we get to that point, and things may have changed by then because everything's changing very quickly. But I would say for international documents, I would recommend right now, don't send those in, because usually once we receive a document, admissions, we, keep it on file and we can't really give it back to you. So I would just say consider that, or at least like communicate with us before doing anything like that.
Great. Another question for you, Nathan. I previously attended UNT in the 1980s. Are you able to pull my existing transcripts?
That is a great question. That would be a different admission process. Because at UNT, once you have previously attended, once you're a student, you're always a student. You would still apply on applytexas.org. You would just use the readmit application instead of the US transfer or international transfer application. For readmit students, there is no application fee because once again, in the eyes of the university, once you're a student, you're always a student. Um, the registrar's office then would unarchive your file and bring in the credits that you previously had. Now, if you attended anywhere since last attending UNT, they would still require those transcripts to come in. So if you did go to another university or junior or community college in the meantime, they would need those still to complete that. But if you haven't, then theoretically we should still have all that stuff in there.
Great. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here for today. If Nathan, can you go to the next slide?
Sure.
If you learned what are ready to move forward today, contact our Coursera enrollment coach. Her name is Taylor. She's wonderful. At unt-BAAS@coursera.org to get started with her. And if you're interested in learning more about financial aid, we saw a lot of questions in the Q&A box today about financial aid. We will be having another webinar on May 7th. So I believe that's 2 weeks from today at 11:30 Central Standard Time for you to learn about financial aid and then get your questions answered regarding financial aid as well.
I also want to reiterate that if you have missed our previous webinars, the first one we talked about program requirements, and the second one we talked about advising, and even more about the program and how it works. Those are on Coursera, their YouTube page, and they're also on the Coursera UNT page that they offer on their website. can add that into the chat here for you. I definitely recommend, if this is your first time hearing about the program, it might not make the most sense. So go look at those, and trust me, it will make a lot more sense to you.
Yes. All right, so we are going to end the webinar here. Stephanie and I are going to stay on with cameras and mics turned off to go back through the chat and the Q&A to answer any questions that we missed. So if you continue to have questions, go ahead and pop them there. We will continue to answer questions for just a little bit here. But thank you so much for joining us today, and go Mean Green.